Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new NVIDIA daily update video. So today, as per usual, let's go over NVIDIA stock. Let's go over what is happening with the stock, what I personally can expect moving forward and all of that good stuff. So as usual, I will share my personal thoughts. But yeah, with all that being said and done, if you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to hit that like button. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. And again, if you enjoy my analysis, I do have a membership section on YouTube for just $3 a month. You get access to all my thoughts, post updates every single day on Tesla and sometimes other stocks. Like today, I actually shared in AMD somewhere down here, right? So yeah, if you're interested, that link is down below. Or for $5 a month, you get access to that, everything I just said, plus NVIDIA daily updates as well within that membership group live as the market is trading. But yeah, all that being said, let's jump into it. NVIDIA closing the day with a very respectable 3% rally today on a fairly muted day in the markets for the most part. Definitely nothing to scoff at, that's for sure, especially considering AMD is pretty much flat. So NVIDIA with a very nice outperformance based on the market after a pretty massive fall yesterday. But unfortunately, this might not be enough, right? So how do I view this, or how do I word this? Again, this might make some bulls very unhappy, but I do believe NVIDIA is finally starting to show bearish signs, right? Why do I think NVIDIA is finally starting to show bearish signs? And I want to make this clear. If we break above about 140 to 141, I do think these bearish signs will most likely be nullified. But as long as we remain below 140 to 141, and especially below 135 to 136, which we're pretty much at right now, well, you know, there are some concerns here that are finally starting to develop. Like I said before, when we were rallying, none of these were there, but now I'm starting to see a little bit of concerns. Let's talk about them. So MACD, lower highs, RSI, I think it'll start making a bearish divergence. If we ever go back into this high 130s range, I do think a bearish divergence will start to develop. Concerning. We have the stochastic now flipping bearish on the daily charts, right? We have, of course, this second stochastic indicator, both the red and the white line are above this horizontal red line, right? That's also concerning. That to me tells me that, you know, we're closer to a top than not, essentially, if that makes sense, right? That's concerning, right? Things are very frothy is what that's telling me, right? Things are very frothy here. And then, of course, you have the BX trender. Despite today's 3% rally, not only is the band that you can see here still red, but we still made a lower high. We made a lower high despite a 3% rally today. So again, these indicators aren't perfect. They could be wrong. But based on what I'm seeing and based on just simple risk versus reward, and if you take into account, you know, these plus the fact that, you know, NVIDIA is now back into overbought territories, again, it's a very risky long play. Assuming you're literally just entering it right here, right now. Again, not financial advice, just my opinion, but assuming you just entered along right here, I do believe it's a very risky play because of all those things I just mentioned. Right now, maybe it'll work. There is a chance it'll work. Nothing is perfect. None of these indicators are guaranteed. But again, it's always about risk versus reward. In my opinion, the risk versus reward for entering a fresh long position pretty much right here is low, quite low, I would even argue. So that's just, again, that's just my perspective. So we'll see how that plays out, right? But let's take a look at the actual horizontal levels and whatnot, right? So NVIDIA, like I said yesterday, it did hold 130, right? That's a pretty important level. But today we came up to the first major resistance once again, which, you know, we had a break about yesterday, and then we pretty much crashed right back under, which is again 135 to 136. That's a very massive area of well, not massive area, but it is an area of resistance because it is a pivot point all the way back here from this candle all the way here on the 11th of July. So that's something that you probably want to be watching out for. Now, if NVIDIA can start closing daily candles back above 135 to 136, at this point 136 really, then, you know, maybe we can start getting another move back up to 140. And if we do get moved back to 140 to 141, this will, without question, make a bearish divergence on the RSI. 100% it will do that, right? So that's why you want to be really careful of that. If we do get above 136 and if we do go to 140, 141, you really need to see some very strong bullish momentum start to really pick in and bring it well beyond all-time highs, or else, you know, this, in my opinion, will be a bull trap. And even right now, I still think there's a damn good chance that this is still technically a bull trap, even if we go higher, slightly into the higher 130s, right? So again, that's just my indicators. Again, they could be wrong. They could be wrong, but it's just, it feels very frothy. It feels like a very greedy play right now, at least for the long side. Doesn't mean I'm shorting. I'm not short NVIDIA, disclaimer. I'm not short or long, actually. I don't have any position right now in NVIDIA, so I'm very unbiased. I really don't care if I miss NVIDIA. I don't care if it crashes. I don't care if it rallies. I have no bias on the stock at all. Like, I have no FOMO, nothing. So I'll give you my raw thoughts every single time on this stock, which is always nice. But again, below 136 and this, and below 140 to 141, like those are very crucial levels, right? NVIDIA would really need to start breaking back above those once again, and actually holding more than just one day. We only held one day above it, right? That's concerning in my opinion. So the bullish momentum, I see it just drying up. It is what it is, right? Even if we make our way back slightly higher, I still see it drying up a little bit. Now, the downside targets are pretty simple. NVIDIA would need to essentially close a daily candle below 130. The bears failed to do that yesterday. It had a nice wick below, but it couldn't close below 130. So we had a nice rally today because we held that crucial support. I still want to see it come back down personally to about the mid-ish 120s. That's where I'm a little bit more interested. Even low 120s, I'm even more interested, right? So that's kind of my general thought process, I guess, moving forward on NVIDIA. Now, yesterday we did mention the ultra bull case, if you will, right? Which is still valid, right? The ultra bull case, again, it is a valid thing to consider, which is, of course, like I said yesterday, to quickly reiterate, no weekly candle is able to close as high as the previous weekly candle, right? It is the highest weekly candle close we've had on NVIDIA quite literally ever. Not the highest price we've ever been at, but the highest close. So that's actually good. That is a good sign. I do think NVIDIA's overall chart actually looks pretty damn good still. This, even if we come down to 123 roughly, I still think it looks actually really good. But the ultra bull case states the fact that if NVIDIA can pretty much just hold 130 and never close a daily candle below 130 again, somehow, that, in my opinion, keeps the ultra bull case thesis alive, right? Because again, like I said, highest weekly candle closure that we had last week, but you can see all these weekly candles below, or before rather, they kept getting rejected pretty much anytime it entered anywhere really into the 130s. So not only do we finally close inside of that, but this potential weekly candle this week can be actually turning that area back into a support. That is the ultra bull case right now, right? Which is a valid case. That is a valid scenario, but it's pretty much hinges on not closing at a daily candle below 130 and especially a weekly candle below 130. Those are the probably most important things to watch out for this ultra bull case thesis to remain intact. And that's pretty much the main thing I'll be looking at, right? Again, I'm not trading NVIDIA right now. I'm just eyeballing. I'm just waiting for better entries. If I get them, great. If I don't, great. Doesn't matter to me, right? There's plenty of other opportunities out there, such as Tesla right now. Tesla's in a very interesting spot, though. I think we might get a better opportunity soon, I'll be honest. But yeah, that's just kind of my general thought. Now, NVIDIA, of course, is going to be the most bullish call flow today, sitting at close to 40 million, which is always nice to see for the bulls, of course. I mean, they're very unhinged. Let's take a look at the actual call flow. You can see a lot more green than red. I mean, there's no doubt about that, right? Even some pretty unhinged 2.8 million calls coming in for October 15th, which is just, yeah, the bulls, man, I'm telling you, once the bulls, this is a hard stock to short because, I mean, when the music stops playing, kind of like Tesla, this stock does crater pretty aggressively. But that happens like no one knows when the music will stop playing, right? Is I guess what I'm trying to say. No one knows when the music will stop playing. And while the music is playing, I will admit the stock is extremely bullish and extremely powerful with bullish momentum. Very scary stock to short. Not a stock I personally would ever, or very rarely would ever consider shorting, because again, once this thing is going, it's very powerful, and then maybe you get lucky with the timing on that massive red day. For instance, like yesterday, right? Massive red day. If you enter puts, let's say on Monday, you made a killing on Tuesday. But again, it feels like very kind of RNG. Now, let's take a look at this, right? Take a look at the comparison between these candles here. So yesterday, we're in a very similar situation. These three candles right here, very similar to these three candles back here, right? So again, today, yesterday, day before, compared to the candles back here on July 10th, 11th, and 12th. Very similar. Massive gap up and a pretty decent looking closure. Same thing like we had on Monday. Massive gap up, decent looking closure. Great. Massive, massive fall. Massive, massive fall. Nice little green day. Nice little green day. So if the patterns are anything worthwhile here, what this means is the fact that, yeah, we'd probably get a nice little maybe green day tomorrow or kind of a sideways day tomorrow. Nothing too crazy. But probably starting Friday or early next week, we may start another downtrend, kind of like exactly what we did back here, which can be what takes us to about that 123 range, which is my personal entry target roughly. So we'll see how it plays out, but definitely want to kind of keep your eyes on this situation here with these two patterns. A very, very similar candle structure in many ways. So yeah, we'll see how that plays out. But let me know what you think down below. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. See you for the next one. Peace.